Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, continuing my E3 2017 coverage. One of the most requested games for me to talk about on the channel since E3 has been Anthem, considering Knights of the Old Republic is my favorite game of all time and I am a fanboy of old school BioWare. Let's start off with whether or not I'm excited about this game. I'm certainly intrigued, and that's obviously because of the massive scale of this game, and on top of that, the multiplayer definitely looks like something that could be fun. But here's why I'm really just not feeling Anthem. When you look at BioWare, you divide it up into two segments. There's the old BioWare fanbase and there is the new BioWare fanbase, and I'm not getting into an elitist perspective when I say this. I just happen to really like the older games they made, such as Dragon Age Origins, such as Knights of the Old Republic, and so on. But there are people who stepped in, have played those games, didn't really like them, and respectfully so, they enjoyed the newer BioWare titles, and that's okay. For me, I just haven't liked the newer BioWare titles, and I feel the BioWare that I held up to that gold standard has fallen so far away. And to me personally, when I saw them announce Anthem, which had nothing to do with role-playing, didn't seem to be much of an RPG whatsoever, I couldn't help but feel that was BioWare saying, well, we haven't made a good RPG in years, let's just stop and do something that's popular. And that's really where my first gripe steps in. Not that they're experimenting, go ahead BioWare, experiment. It's just that these guys made some of my favorite RPGs of all time, and to see them make a game that's not really going to have role-playing kind of bugs me. It definitely brightens my day to see Drew Karpyshyn, the writer of Knights of the Old Republic, will be working on this title, so that definitely once again increases my intrigue, but I can't get fully invested in this one for sure. Because of the potential Destiny similarities I saw throughout the demo, we saw, for example, taking down a horde of enemies, receiving some XP for it, and at the end of this minor side activity, we noticed that the player received a type of loot and said, oh come on, give me something good, and I was like, really BioWare? RNG loot? Has anyone learned their lesson? Like, RNG, in my opinion, I may not speak for everyone, but quite frankly, sucks. I like to know what I'm getting when I'm working towards a goal. I don't like to have the idea of, hey, you have a really high chance of getting a legendary or exotic piece of gear here. No, I want to know what I am working towards. The other gripe I had that was more of a nitpick than anything is the Mass Effect similarities. I mean, right off the bat, as we enter combat for the first time in this demo, we get a look at the bar on the bottom, which has the LB, the RB, and the LB-RB attacks. They're all hotkeyed the same as Mass Effect, and in fact, we see someone do the same ground pound punch that the Vanguard in Mass Effect can do. It's a third-person shooter, so the Mass Effect DNA is well and true in this game, which I think is to entice players to give Anthem a chance. But for me, it's like, what the hell's going on? Because you have these Destiny mechanics, but you have the Mass Effect gameplay. You don't seem to have much role-playing involved, and maybe role-playing is a personal gripe of mine. So let's just take a look at the gameplay elements in place here in this demo. And quite honestly, this game already doesn't have much of an identity and is just copying what we've seen in previous titles, especially ones from other BioWare games. On the pro side of things, I mean, it's graphically astounding, the scale is insane, but just because it's big doesn't mean it's full of things to do, and if it's full of things to do, it doesn't mean all those things are full of things to do of substance. And it also shines a light on what ended up even going more wrong for Andromeda. Of course, we got that Kotaku article saying that there was some real developmental issues for Mass Effect Andromeda, but on top of that, we can tell where the money was going for BioWare. So I'm gonna keep my eye on this game, but not out of excitement, but out of curiosity, and it's probably one I'll play just because I want to see where BioWare is heading as a company. But right now, as a gamer, I'm not excited. I just can't be, based off the history of games I have played, and especially the ones that I like out of BioWare. It's just how I am, and I'm sure you guys aren't too surprised with that response. Are you excited for Anthem? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Am I alone on this? I mean, a lot of people were like, hey, I'm kind of into this. It seems like a split of people being either really into it or people also being on the side of things where they agree with my point of view. So the comments ought to be interesting, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that, as it fuels all the content we create here. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.